Hello, I'm Jana, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. Today is day 11 of Craftmas, and today we're going to be bringing you some holiday cheer. We're going to be mixing and matching some old and new dyes to create some festive drinks. So if you'd like to see exactly which supplies I'm going to be using, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Today, we're going to be creating with a couple of different Sizzix die sets. The main one that we're going to be using is Happy Hour. I love all the different drink shapes on this, and this is going to be perfect for our holiday cheer card. The other die set that we're going to be using today for some small embellishments is going to be this one. And this is Christmas minis. There's some great little pieces. I'm definitely pulling in the candy cane and the gingerbread man. We are also going to be taking this fantastic orange slice from this set, Modern Festive. And last but not least, of course, we're pulling in something from this year. And this die set is Festive Gatherings. So we've got a whole bunch of different die sets to play with and create with. So for starters, we're going to be pulling in some distressed watercolor cardstock and these two colors, Wonderland and Sugared Gumdrops. These are distressed mica spray stains, so of course we need to give them a really good shake. I'm also spritzing our distressed watercolor paper with some water so that we'll have nice inky flow once we start spritzing. But right now we need to continue to shake these distressed mica spray stains because, as you can see, there is a sediment built up in the bottom, and if we don't incorporate the sediment, then the beautiful mica will clog our sprayers. So once the bottom of the jar is looking more clear, then we'll be ready to spritz. So I'm starting with Winter Wonderland and being pretty generous with the color, and then we're going in with some of the Sugared Gumdrop. I'm not using as much of this because it could easily overpower our other color, and I'm hoping to get a lovely balance between the two of them. Now, to get our color to move, I am picking up the watercolor cardstock and I'm letting gravity help move some of those beautiful drips down the card. And this is going to give us some beautiful striation patterns. I'm also using the Ranger Heat tool to dry this off at the same time, because if I use the heat tool and I start seeing little spots that I really like, I can use the heat tool to kind of freeze the motion of the mica spray stain on the card. Okay, so just a couple more spots, and that looks like a completed background. Ooh, and look at that shimmer. That is very pretty and oh so sparkly. Okay, now quick cleanup before we move on to the next step. We're just going to spritz this with a few blasts of the distress sprayer and then simply wipe up with a inky cloth. There we go. Nice clean work surface, so we won't be working in a pile of sludge. Now, this is going to be one of two layers in our card. I actually have cut this down by 1/4 of an inch on each side. So it now measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to be attaching this to a metallic base, and I'm just using the ATG tape gun to add our adhesive before we stick that down onto this beautiful craft metallic cardstock. So we're just going to line that up, and right there we've already got a lovely card base to work with. And that little line of metallic just adds a little bit more festiveness to our card. Okay, now it is time to bring in our die sets. I've already pre-cut all of our pieces. We have some silver craft stock for our glasses, and that's going to be the base of the drinks. Now, the rest of the pieces I die cut out of distressed watercolor cardstock because we're going to be pulling in more distressed mica stains, and I'm going to be watercoloring with these using the Ranger Fine Detailer water brush. For the first color that we're going to be adding, I'm going to be pulling in some tart cranberry. This is going to be the perfect color for the candy cane, and I'm also thinking I'll use that on the cherry and perhaps one of the drinks as well. That kind of is giving me like cosmopolitan vibes, which I think could definitely be a drink that could be altered to be a little bit more festive. So we're just going to go ahead and paint that on, and this is so shimmery as I'm adding it to the paper. Absolutely love this color. There have been so many wonderful additions to the Distress color line with the seasonal holiday colors. It's just been so wonderful to see that palette expanded, and the added sparkle, total bonus. Let's go ahead and put the rest of this on fast forward. Here are the finished elements that we have painted with some Distress Mica spray stains. Now we're just going to assemble these, and then we can start putting our festive drinks together. I got this idea a while ago from one of the many Tim Holtz demos where he showed how to combine a variety of Sizzix dyes to create new ideas with old product. I absolutely loved that, and I thought the idea of adding a cute little gingerbread man to a drink would be absolutely adorable. So of course I had to give this my own twist. And since we've got those beautiful Distress Mica spray stains, I thought that coloring our elements with that would be really, really fun. Okay, so we're just taking the die pick, and I'm using that to help me pick up all these teeny tiny pieces as we slowly assemble all of our elements. The gingerbread man in particular really needs that little extra help with the die pick, because there's no way with my fingers that I could ever pick out those teeny tiny pieces for the eyes and buttons. Definitely one of my favorite tools for assembling fussy die cuts. Now, I also had pre-adhesed the back of the watercolor cardstock with some double-sided sticky tape because that makes assembly so much easier. And again, with those teeny tiny pieces, it really helps to speed up the process and not have to worry about glue ooze and getting glue everywhere on teeny tiny pieces. Okay, so that would be the gingerbread. Now, let's see, we'll just try to pop them out, set them to the side. That's good. We've got our drinks ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to start the assembly process. I'm just going to take our pieces, peel the backings, and we're going to create some lovely layers. That looks like some sort of lemon drink. That could be really tasty. Now, I'm just going to put on the drink portions into their respective cups, and then we'll add the embellishments after. Okay, and we've got this orangey one. That's kind of making me think of like maybe mulled cider. That could be very tasty. Okay, there we go. We've got all three of these ready. Now we're just going to match up which pieces are going to complement each drink. All right, I think we're going to put the gingerbread with the orange. Yeah, I like that. It's a good combination. Just go ahead and stick them down. And next, let's see here. I think I want to go for the candy cane and right into that red drink. And let's see here. I'm also going to try to peel off these ice cubes, and we'll put them into this drink as well. Okay. Next, we're going to be going for the cherry. That's a bit small, but we can make that work. Just going to poke out a little piece with the die pick, and then I can layer the cherry up. Okay, good. And let's place that in the yellow drink. That's good. And now this orange slice. I'm just going to take the tonic snips and we're going to cut a little bit into this so that I can kind of tuck this over the lip of that martini glass. Okay, just parting that. There we go. Now we got that lovely orange slice in here. Okay. Next, I want to add these little holly pieces, and those will make a lovely decoration at the base of the glass that has the gingerbread in it. Good. And now I've got to go back for those teeny tiny holly berries. Just going to use the die pick to scoop those up. And we'll just place them right onto the holly leaves. Good. And we're just going to need one more to complete that. Oof, these are so small. All right, let's get that last one. There we go. Definitely like that little addition of the holly. All right, so we're just going to put these onto the card next. Now, the question is, which configuration is going to make the most sense? Are we going to do portrait, landscape, or something else? Not quite sure yet, but oh my word, I love that background. That is a really festive background for these drinks to be settling on. Okay. Let's see. What should I try? Ooh, I'm liking that. It's like there's always the question, portrait or landscape when creating a card. Definitely going landscape today. So our drinks are done. Now we just need to stick these in place. And this time I'm going to be using some collage medium to keep these in place. So I'm just adding a few dots onto the back of each drink cup, and then we can stick that down right onto the watercolor cardstock. Okay, that would be number 1. Now we can work on number 2. So again, I'm being pretty sparing with the glue, don't want any glue ooze, and we just need enough to make sure that everything stays in place. Good. There's the next drink. Okay. Not bad. All right. And let's see about drink number 3. So I'm just going to scribble some glue onto the back, a little bit down the stem and the base. And we will go ahead and stick that right onto our card. I am loving this trio of drinks. They are so festive. So to finish off this card, I wanted to add some greenery around the edges. So for this part, we're going to be pulling in some Distress re-inkers. That is going to be how I'm going to add color to these. And I've got the Ranger ink palette, and we're going to be going for some Twisted Citron and a dash of Rustic Wilderness. For the most part, I'm just going to paint the Twisted Citron on first since it is the lighter color. And once these are all painted, I will be able to assemble them and add them to the card. Ooh, that Rustic Wilderness, it's such a great color. Love that. And again, we're using the Ranger Fine Detailer water brush. We've got all our pieces nice and painted. So now it's just down to the assembly. So for this die, we have these little green leaves, and we're just kind of sticking them onto the initial base cutout, and it's going to give us a bit of a pattern for these leafy greens. So we're just going to stick these on one at a time, and then we can add them to our card. For this, I've also used more double-sided sticky tape, just so that building each of these plants is going to be a lot easier than trying to go in there with glue for smaller parts and pieces. All right, there is stem number 1. Yeah, I think we're just going to set that along the base of the card. It's going to kind of droop over the stems of the glasses. That punch of green adds something to the card. I really like it. Okay, let's go ahead and build this other stem of leaves. We're just going to pull up those darker green leaves that we've painted, and we're going to stick them onto that base. And then we'll be able to add that right onto our card. So much fun. I love combining old and new die sets. It's so important to remember what we already have in our collections and use those pieces because really, these dies, they don't go out of style. So whatever you got, check your treasures and build things. Mix up the old and the new, and you will be surprised by the things that you can create. And I am loving this combination of dies. So festive and so fun. Okay, so we've got a little overhang, but that's not a big deal. I can always trim that off with the tonic snips. So we'll just take that and quickly take off those extra pieces. And there, take a look at that card. It is so good. Now, the last thing that I need to do is to add a sentiment to this. So we're going to be pulling in the Tim Holtz Ideology Christmas sticker book. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, okay, this is too perfect. We have got the sticker that says, "Our hearts are filled with cheer." That is the perfect sentiment for this card with holiday drinks. I love this. We've got the shimmer in the craft stock. We've got shimmer with the mica sprays. So fun. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Crafty Corner to whip up some holiday cheer. Today, we've been playing with old and new Tim Holtz Sizzix dies to create this fun and festive card. Today has been day 11 of Craftmas. Don't forget to stay tuned for tomorrow's finale of the 12 days of Craftmas. I promise it's going to be a good one, and we're going to have lots of fun. So, until next time, happy crafting.